Hey guys, it's Westy here, just going through an install on the new Lowrance Eagle-eye Live with the live sonar, and we're going to put on this boat behind me, and the installation of the transducer sonar itself, we're going to put it on the front trolling motor on the bow, and we're going to go with the clamping option on the bow as well. So here it is again for everyone that didn't see the unboxing. This is the nice unit here, really simple on the back. It's 2 cable ports, a power and your transducer which plugs in, which is really great. And for this boat, what we're going to do is we've got a ram bracket like this, and this is a cradle that comes with it, and then we've just screwed the actual ball part of it for the ram mount itself. So we're going to locate this, so we're going to spend a bit of time and locate this on the deck in the front of the boat, and we're going to slide the bow mount, make sure we're not going to hit the actual transducer itself. So we'll mount the transducer on, and we'll do like a dry fit or a dummy fit as we would say, and see if it works in the position. So we'll find a great location for it. I reckon that you do the same thing, spend a bit of time and locate exactly where this is going to be, even put your fishing rods on the deck, just get a real feel on the location of this. So you know, measure twice, cut once type of deal, so you just get it in the right place the first time. Alrighty guys, we've got a few pieces here that we have to sort of put together first when we're installing this on our trolling motor. So we've got the clamp itself, and then we've got the bracket and the screw that's in the bracket as well. It's going to hold it all together, hold the transducer in. And then obviously you've got your transducer part itself. So what you need to do is you need to undo this section here, slide this on, slide the bracket on there like that, and then we'll clamp it on there and we'll screw the transducer to it. So I'll put this together and we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like on the bow mount. We've got the clamp on the front of the trolling motor. As you can see here, I've put the clamp just inside of where the mounting bracket is or housing for this trolling motor itself. I just feel it's in a better position back here rather than at the front. For some reason, if it vibrates loose or something, it doesn't fall off in travel. It'll actually stay in here, and the housing itself will stop it from sliding. So that's the theory of why I've put it there. And another thing I would recommend is just taking a flat blade screwdriver for next time you go out and test this, because we can only guess or get a good idea of where it is located, you know, at 90 degrees to the shaft and everything. But until you actually put your boat in the water and drop your trolling motor and get a good look at it, you may have to tweak where this clamp is, just so that your transducer itself is in the perfect spot. So yeah, just as simple as taking a flat blade screwdriver, and you can tweak it as you get there. So to install the actual transducer itself, what you need to do is we've got the sensor out, facing out away. We've got this is actually the rear mounting position. So if you're putting on the back of your boat on that type of transom sort of bracket, that's what you need to use. Because we're using this clamp situation, we're actually using this hole here. And as you can see, it's got 2 little lugs there, little countersunk parts that will match up with this housing here, so you can't get it in the wrong spot. Or you can if you have it upside down, but you'd soon work out that it's not in the right spot. So you just want to lay it down there, make sure it's in the right spot. You've got your cable coming to the inside of your trolling motor here, closest to the shaft, not hanging out here. And then it's as simple as putting this screw that's in one of those cardboard envelopes that we spoke about on the unboxing, and you just want to send it nice and firm with the Phillips head screwdriver. There you go. You're just getting into that Loctite glue there now. Feel it grab. There you go. You just want to torque it a little bit. You can adjust it later on if you feel it's a little bit loose. But there you have it. It's in position. We've got the bracket on. So that's what it should look like when you mount it. But like I said, you can adjust it when you're on the water to make sure it's in the right location. So we'll move on to the rest of it. We've got the screen here now, and you'll notice that there's no caps on these corners. So this is for when you want to install it to a console. So we're not doing it to a console, as you've seen earlier in the video, what we're doing on the ram mount. So in this little orange envelope are the little cap cases. So we'll untape these and we'll put them into the corners. So here's your cap now, and you just slide it over It's hard to do it when you're not in front of it. There you go. So that just covers those screw holes nicely. So I'll just go through now and do the rest of them. There you go. All the caps are on now, all sealed up. The next part we're going to do is we're going to put the 2 screw lugs. We're going to use those screw lugs and we're going to mount that to our cradle. So we'll just do that now. So what you want to do is I like to pre-start them a little bit. So screw it in for a couple of turns, either one. There you go, you stop mowing for a second. And then all I do is just slide it on both sides, like so. And then I just tighten them up. Like so. So there you have it, that's what it looks like. There's the back, screws are in tight. So all you need to do if you want to adjust the flexibility of that, you just loosen them off a little bit and then you adjust it, and there's like little cogs in there that click into position, and then you can tighten it back up. So that's it there on the mount. Alrighty guys, as you've seen before, we just mounted the transducer to the head of the electric motor, and now we're going to look at the cable management. So what you really have to worry about or pay attention to is when your electric motor is deployed, you really need to make sure that the cable itself is not getting stuck or wedged on anything. So what we've done here, slip to this camera, we've just done a temporary tape on this part here. We've got the collar on this on the bow mount here onto the depth that we normally run it at. So then we've taped the clamp, or we've taped the actual cable above that clamp. So that means all the cable down here is free and it's not going to get jammed when it slides down. So that's just temporary for the time being. It's got a little bit of looseness in it. If you just want to pan down there, just got a little bit of looseness there. It's not very tight, but it's not very slack either. So that's that there. And what we've done is we've got enough cable down here and we've put another bit of tape down here. So what we've done there is that's where we think our entrance point is going to be through the deck. And I've got an old battery here. We've got some electrical tape just holding it there in place. So what we're going to do now is we'll deploy the electric motor and see if that, where the cable is going to be sitting, is enough length and going to be suitable for what we're going to do. So we'll just quickly do that. So we'll just slide that there. Luckily enough, with this electric motor on this boat and trailer, we can actually slide it down without putting it on the water. So just make sure that's in the middle. There we go, slide it down. There you go. So you've got a little bit of slackness there. That's perfect. It's not too much, it's not too tight. And then you come back up to the battery here and you can see that it's got a little bit of slack here. And I don't think we want to make it any tighter than that. I think if you do, you're going to start getting into a bit of trouble, especially when you deploy the motor back. Especially when you deploy the motor back and put it back in stow position, you know, that's as tight as it's going to be. If you have it that super tight, when you stow it away, it's not going to come all the way back to where it was on this particular motor. So definitely be careful and pay attention to how much you need when it's stowed, and then where your cable sits when it's deployed. So we're happy with that position, so we'll go now and we'll drill a hole through the deck now and get it to our unit. Also what you'll notice is we've got the unit in place where we want it to be, and we have tested that when we slide the electric motor itself, it's not going to hit the actual unit itself or anything like that. As you've seen from before, from the front view, it was definitely clear of this. So double check. You know, if you've got to put 1 or 2 screws in just to put it in place to double check everything, it's better to do that than fully mount it and then find out that you hit it or it's just in the wrong spot. So yeah, that's the tip that I need to give you is just make sure that everything's in the correct spot and free of everything. So let's get back to getting the cables up to the unit. All right, so we've run the cable through the deck. We've popped it up in the location we want to put it. We've made sure we've got enough slack on these cables so that if we weren't going to lower the unit itself on this ram mount, we've got enough length for it to go all the way down if you want to lay down while we're traveling, and so on and so forth. We have these cable locking collars. One's big, one's small, pretty much self-explanatory. The small one goes on the small cable, the big one goes on the big cable. And what these do is when it goes into the back of the unit, it will lock cable in. So what you need to do is you get it this way, you've got the prongs, you need to slide the cable on the prong side, push it in, and push it all the way in till it clicks. It's a firm click, but you got to get it nice and tight in there. And then yep, we just slide it into the back of the unit like so and lock it in, and you can pull on that cable and it's not going to come out. So we've got the big one going in the big cable now. Man, that's pretty firm, hey? Let's see if we can actually click it on by putting it in and trying it that way. So we'll locate the cable. Like so. No, you really need to push it on. So there we go. Got it on. Just need that extra bit of push, bit of oomph. But you definitely have to put it on fully before you can actually put it on. I just tried to do it there where I thought maybe if I put it in and I'll be able to force it to then block it, but no, you definitely need to physically put it on first. So you line up, these have got a few little notches in it and you need to line it up with the inside of there. They only go in one way. So you just slowly spin it around, put it in, locked in place, and now as you can see I'm pulling on that cable and it is not coming out. Pretty cool little feature. I've never seen these before. I've run Elite FS units and HGS units for a fair few years, and they have, obviously you will see their red and their blue collars and stuff like that for locking it in, but these are a little new one that I haven't seen before, and I think they're pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'd feel that you guys would be pretty happy with that too. So there we go. We've got the power in the back of the unit. We've run the cable through to the back of the boat, and I'll just explain what we've done with that stuff down there. So I'm here at the middle of the boat. We have a fuse box in this boat, and that's where we run our power cable to, and we put the 3 amp fuse in it. So when you grab your box, and you'll see there'll be an inline fuse, and it is 3 amp. So that's the fuse that you'll need to use to protect your unit and protect the cables and everything like that. I'm not a qualified marine electrician or anything like that, so I'm not going to go through on how we've actually done it like that. So I reckon you go and find a guide to do it, or research it yourself and find out how to actually do it. But we've just joined it, we brought it to the fuse box, we put a 3 amp fuse in it, and that's how we monitor the power on this boat from the battery. I do know that the closer, you want to put the fuse as close as you can to the battery or power source rather than your unit, because what you want to do is you want to protect the cable and everything from the battery all the way through to your unit. So you always want to put your fuse closest to the power source, which is your battery. That's all the advice I can give. That's just what I've picked up in the past. So yep, we put the 3 amp fuse in our fuse box, and now we'll just go through and we'll power up the unit and see what it looks like. Alrighty guys, let's turn it on and see how we go. Oh, there we go. That's a good sign, it's got power. Just go through its little booting up loading time. Alrighty, there you go. Comes up, you can choose your language and you can go through and set up your own Lowrance Eagle-eye the way that you want to. We'll do another video on setting this up and everything like that, so look forward to that. But yeah, it's all powered up, good stuff. Go guys, we've installed the Lowrance Eagle-eye 9 with the live sonar. We've done it to the electric motor, we've clamped it on there, we've installed the unit, we've got it to the power. Very simple, it's 2 cables. The biggest one is locating actually where you need the sounder to be, then running your cable back to your power source, and the next one is with the cable management for the transducer that's clamped onto your electric motor. Everyone's electric motor is a little bit different, so you really need to pay attention to the cable management so that you can deploy and stow your electric motor without pulling the cables too tight or having way too much. So it's a trial and error, but yeah, spend some time on that and everything will be fine. But besides that, it's plug and play. Can't wait to see what it's like on the water and to compare it to what I've used to with the AT2, and I've used the AT1 in the past as well. So there you go. Thanks guys for watching. Any questions, drop them out in the comments. But look forward to the next video when we're on the water checking out the Lowrance Eagle-eye 9 with the live sonar forward facing. Let's go.